On the presentation tonight, I'm going to do a quick introduction here to David Schweikert and Vernon Parker. We're going to have both on the stage at the same time. David Schweikert is a lifelong Arizona advocate and was raised in Scottsdale, Arizona, and attended Arizona State University, where he earned a VA degree in finance and real estate and his MBA in 2005. David served in his first term in the United States House of Representatives, representing Arizona's 5th District, and serves on the Financial Services Committee. Prior to being elected in the 112th Congress, David served as Treasurer of Maricopa County in 2004. As Treasurer of one of the largest counties in the United States, David was responsible for protecting billions of taxpayer dollars and earned over $300 million in investment income, while never showing a deficit despite a tough economic environment. David is an advocate for taxpayers and legislative reformer and a small business owner who understands fiscal responsibility. I've known David for over 5 years. He's a solid person, a good human being, understands what's going on in our country today, and one of the smartest guys in Congress, in my opinion. We're coming up. Vernon Parker is a line. Grew up with his grandmother in a severely underprivileged neighborhood. Snoop Dogg lived down the street from Vernon. Parker was able to escape drugs and violence of his environment through love, education, and the hard work. Parker is a personification of the American dream. He was able to escape poverty by putting himself through college and law school. Parker and his wife Lisa seek now to instill the same qualities in their own children as they come in the age of one of the most challenging economic times in our history. He was recently elected to serve a second term on Paradise Valley Town Council. Parker served as Paradise Valley Mayor from 2000 to 2010. His upbringing taught a few things about living on a budget. And when the Great Recession hit, no town was spared. He cut spending by 30%, reduced staff, and streamlined government. Previously, he served on a special assistant to President George H.W. Bush. Parker also was nominated by President George W. Bush and unanimously confirmed with the bipartisan support of the U.S. Senate. And as the Secretary of the United States Department of Agriculture, Arizona's next Congressman, Vernon Parker. So we have both. Yes, Vernon Parker here today.
So Vernon, when he starts introducing you as one of the...
I'm David Schelweikert.
Getting your cue. Get up. No, seriously, think about this. How many of you would like to be introduced as, well, he's one of the smarter members of Congress? Yeah, how many congressmen have you met? Trust me, there's a reason you don't want to be called congressman. I'm still actually a little creeped out about the Snoop Dogg part.
You know, one thing I cannot do is rap, so I don't think that was passed along. I would make a joke about Snoop Dogg, but I think we'll leave him alone. Because you know what? He doesn't want his children to be a rap star now. He wants his children, I heard him say this, he wants his children to be the next Bill Gates. And so we will, both of us, when we get to Congress, when I get to Congress, with my good friend, we will make sure that every American child has that opportunity. And the one thing I'll tell you about David, when the moment I won the primary, he jumped in and he has raised a considerable amount of money. He's given his time, he and his lovely wife, because they understand where this country is going, and they understand that we need strong people there who will stand up regardless of what party we're in, but to do what is right for America, to do what is right for future generations, and he has done a fabulous job. He is a real leader, and he told me not to call him Congressman, to call him David, but he is a real role model when I get to Congress because he does his homework, but he has the respect of his fellow members of Congress.
We love you, David.
I actually thought we would start with some teasing, him saying he doesn't rap, and I was going to go on to, well, we have a family tradition, we wear lederhosen, I'll get you some. Somehow, question for the room. How many in the room have not voted yet? Okay. The rest of you leave. We're just talking to people that raise their hand. No, I mean, this is actually one of the things that goes on, particularly here in Arizona, is the majority of our folks are actually going to vote through the mail. So, I mean, how many of you are tired of the phone calls? Deadly serious, and we should probably touch on this. Where's Joycey? Okay, Joyce and I have also been in different places around the country in the last couple weeks. We've been in Florida, we were in Ohio. Do I have anyone here from Ohio?
Yes!
Anyone been in Ohio in the last month? You turn on the television, and what do you get? It's attack ad after attack ad after attack ad. If you're part of that 3% that's undecided, you actually get your own activist who camps out in your driveway. Why are you laughing at that? That's real. No, I'm deadly serious. We think we have top politics here. You should see what's going on in other places in the country. Except for the fact that where Vernon is, where Peyton is, our U.S. Senate race with Flake. Dear God, if we don't win these, we as Arizonans will let down the entire country. I mean, have you been surprised at any of the experiences you've had in the last few weeks? Because running against Miss Cinema has to be just a wild experience.
Well, the first thing that I want to say is that I love seniors, I love children and animals. If you've seen the commercials, I think the one that is really, I do love animals, David, I do. I have a little dachshund named Sammy, and maybe one day Sammy will be given the right to vote, but you know what, it's just really bizarre because you will see this photograph and this little child with a backpack looking up at me and saying, Vernon Parker hates education, and that's the only reason that I'm here. How many people have seen the movie Freedom Riders? Raise your hand. Well, that's the high school that I went to. And for anyone to say that I am anti-education, it is an abomination. And I can tell you, we cannot afford to send Kirsten Sinema to Congress. She wanted to close Luke Air Force Base, which would have cost us 17,500 jobs. It would have cost us $2.2 billion to the economy. But this is what gets me. She said the day after 9/11 that we should not go after Osama bin Laden, that we should use the legal system. But she also says we should use the legal system, but she won't release the criminals that she has represented. The other thing that I think is really ironic is that, yes, that's Doug Ducey, that's not me. Fantastic award, but the one that she received, it really stands out. She received the Vladimir Lenin Socialist Award as the most socialist legislator in the state of Arizona. But it said that she proudly received it. And as we say in the South, we need you guys. If you can make a phone call, if you can knock on a door, we need you. We need you Saturday, we need you Sunday, we need you Monday, we need you Tuesday. Because this is going to be a very tight race. And we are not going to win without your help. And please do not, if we don't win this thing, say, I could have made a phone call. Or say, I could have knocked on a door. We have a sign-up sheet there. We need you to sign up. We're not going to ask for any money tonight, but we are going to ask for your help. You know, a good friend of mine, David, he's from the state of Mississippi, and he said, I called him up and I said, hey, Bill, will you contribute to the campaign? And he had this Mississippi drawl. He says, Vernon, I'm going to go ahead and contribute to the campaign here. And he hit the $1,000 button, but he hit it twice. So I called him, so he called, he goes, Vernon, I hit that button twice. He said, well, go ahead on and keep it. So I said, that's sweet. He goes, let me give you a little advice. He goes, I ran statewide in Mississippi. And he said, there are two ways to run a campaign. Unopposed and scared. So we are running scared tonight, and we really need your help to bring this country back to its greatness, to bring this country back to the words that the great President Ronald Reagan said, that we are a nation with the government, not the other way around, and that the greatest social program we can have is a job.
Okay, now down to some of the brass tacks. Who works tomorrow? Okay, those of you who didn't raise your hand, what are you doing with your day? Who has Saturday off? Who has Sunday off? Who can take some hours on Monday? How many of you do not know the office location of Vernon's campaign? Again? No, this is one of the most competitive districts in the entire country. The bad guys, I promise you right now, are in some neighborhoods in Ahwatukee and South Tempe and out there walking and knocking. We get to have some fun tonight, but the reality of it is tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we need to get off our... We need to arrive over at the campaign office. And I'm serious about it. Some of this is the willingness to sit there and just make some phone calls for a couple hours. Some of it's to go to a few friends and grab some checks and show up because there's those last things you got to pay for. You got to pay, get gas money, and people out putting up signs at the last moment. There's always that need for the cash flow. If you're not comfortable making phone calls, are you willing to put up yard signs? Are you willing? How many of you in the room right now are willing to stay up all night, Monday into Tuesday morning, putting up signs at the different polling places? The fact of the matter is, you need this many people that are in the room over the next few days just to cover the basics of the phone calls, the getting out the last piece of mail, the knocking on doors, the delivering of literature, and putting up those signs. Well, before we know where the office is, let's try something. How many of you in the room would be willing to make a commitment that you'll at least somehow give us a couple hours at the campaign? See, it breaks my heart out that every hand isn't up in the air. You give a damn about winning. But the fact of the matter is, be in my place. I can sit on the airplane, the flight to D.C., I can sit next to him, or I can sit next to Kristen. Yeah, I'm a little creeped out by that too.
You guys we really need your help, and David is right. In the very end, right now it's going to come down to the ground game, but if you have contributed, that's wonderful, and if you can contribute a little bit more, that would be even better, because we need to finish this thing out. I mean, we are so excited. Look, when they drew this congressional CD-9, they thought it was going to go Democratic. They thought that the Democrats were going to win, but we have a greater than 50% chance of winning, and we are going to win. And I can tell you, my wife and I, we have worked so hard, and we are up every morning because we care not just about CD-9, we care not just about the state of Arizona, but we care about future generations. There is no way that little girl sitting over there, where's that cutie? There she is, right there. That she should inherit more than what's going to be a $16 trillion deficit. And the greatness of this country is the American dream. And that American dream is doing something better than what you have. And I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're 6'7", like my good friend Steve here. I don't care what your gender is. But what I do care is the future, about the future of this great country. And we have to fight, you guys. We must fight to make sure that we send people to Congress who will make tough decisions. You heard, when I was the mayor, the first thing they asked me to do is raise taxes. And they said, get to your rainy day fund. I said, it's not raining. We don't have any revenue coming in. So we cut our budget by 30%. We made those difficult decisions. I don't care about being called a member of Congress. I mean, I've done so much already. But it's the greatness of this great country and these children that we are fighting for, you guys. This is, I mean, just think about it. Just think about the country that we grew up in. And think about if you send Kirsten Sinema to Congress, it's going to be horrific, you guys. It's going to be worse. She makes Barack Obama look like an arch conservative. She really does. And so we'll let you guys get back to what you're doing. But we, you know, before...
We literally have only 3...
I'm going to let David close this out. But let me say, no. I do, because you are a wonderful closer. You are, David. I mean, you're my hero, buddy. And you know what? This race is so important. My son's godfather and godmother flew all the way in from Virginia, Washington, D.C. to be here to work this weekend, marking part of the country. They know the importance of this election. And for them to fly all the way out here to work and to get on the phones and to go door knocking. You guys, this is our state. This is Arizona. And please help us out. With that,